hi guys. Before starting my speech, I would like to ask you a little bit of a question, okay? So, when we were children, when we were younger, have you ever had the fear of ghosts? Like, when you were younger, have you ever tried to escape, to run from it as quickly as you can? Especially before going to bed, you're afraid that it might capture you, you're afraid that it might kidnap you. You try to turn off the light, you run as fast as you can, you try to pull your legs inside of the blankets, so you will be safe after all. And at the same time, we all wanted to become the confident hero. The one that fears nothing. The one that can decently turn off the lights. Can sleep alone without the fear of facing that ghost ever in your life. But we all thought that we couldn't be that guy. Because what we're doing is literally being scared. We try to avoid from it because we feel threatened. And as we grew up, there are more kinds of ghosts approach into your life. And it has different names. It could be criticism, it could be pressure, it could be society viewed. But hold on for a second. What if I say that you are actually the hero yourself? The moment that you try to turn off the lights, the moment you try to run. You see, what you're doing is exactly as a hero would do. The thing that differentiates between a confident and an insecure person at the same situation of ghost is that they don't feel threatened. You see, when you turn off the light, you feel like you're running, you're trying to do it, you're doing very harsh in a very difficult way, but a hero will do it decently. But at the same time, didn't you notice yourself that the goal has been reached? You turn off the lights, you are safe, and more over time, as you grow up, even with that inner fear, you still face it and you still get over it. And that's exactly the topic that I want to enlighten you today. Living within two lives. You see, when you first take a look at the word confidence and insecurity at the same time, you will probably think that I am crazy to tell you that those two words actually the same and actually connect you in a specific way. And what if I even say that one is even a foundation to develop another one? And I used to think in the exact same way that you thought right now, until there was a moment that changed my perspective and also my life entirely. It was when I decided to participate for the competition, finding out who will be the TEDxULIS 2025, even when it has been over for months now, but I can guarantee you, the feeling of nervousness, the feeling of shyness still exists in my mind every single day. I kept wondering, how did I do that? And then I analyzed my situation, and then I realized that insecurity, the small insecurity in my mind and in my body, actually develops and helps me to find my own confidence in the stage. I still remember when I first saw the feeling form, one existed in my mind. It's called confidence. It tells me everything. It tells me about how much I could have if I win this. The fame, the reputation, the admiration from my students, from my friends, from my lecturers. Everything happens as one. How much money I could earn from this. Every single benefit was reminded in my mind. And that is called confidence. And it helps me to imagine myself even in front of the stage. Before I was even there, it gives me motivation. It helps me to feel positive in a specific way. At the same time, there was a little guy, and his name is Insecurity. He pops up in my mind, and then he reminds me of every single weakness, every single trauma that I have had. He told me every single possibility that I could fail, everything I could screw up, every mistake I could potentially make during my journey. And it felt annoying in the first place. So many people, so many of my friends try to convince me that I have to do this, and I can't do this. But there was always that guy, that insecurity guy, comes up telling me negative things. It's like a harsh boss that complains about everything you have done, even though it was actually progress. I was worried, and then I don't even know how many times I told myself that I have won it the moment I chose to join. But the fears kept going. But allow me to analyze it a little bit further. Did you notice that when I feel insecure, all of a sudden, I know my weaknesses? Like, every single time when you try to do something, you try to reduce the possibility of accident as much as you can. And now, insecurity pops up, seems like a harsh boss, seems like a very strict person, but didn't you realize that it tells you exactly what you're lack of? Like what you have to do to win that one, and how to do it at the same time. Your job now is that your mistakes, your possibility of failure have entirely been detected. Now you just only have to figure out the solution for it yourself. And there are many solutions, and finding solution is easier than detecting your problem. Now, without any proper mentor, actual teacher, or any countless hour of watching videos and reading self-help books, I know my weaknesses, and I know that there will be some mistakes during my journey. And it's proof during my journey that there will be some rounds that I found a little bit challenging, but I know that I can compensate through all the rounds. But what I can do is to reduce the possibility of failure as much as I can, and to strengthen my points, strengthen my strength at the same time. And that I can figure out my own path to the final. And even when I was shaken, answering for the decisive answer to decide the title of mine, insecurity was still there. But it's more like an advisor this time, a professional advisor this time, that it helps me to detect my problem. I was shaking, right? But I can control my mind. I know what my mouth is talking about. And it helps me to build up my confidence because I know exactly what my weaknesses is now. So it's much easier for me to know what my strength is at the same time. A research about the relationship between self-confidence and success on Science Brain explains that self-confidence is strongly connected to a person's ability to deal with fear and insecurity. The research actually points out that with higher resilience, it strengthens our confidence. And let me explain. In order to test and know the limits of our resilience, you have to fear what you're doing, right? You have to feel insecure so that at the same time, confidence, braveness will tell you to keep going, to move on, so you can know when the resilience is working in your mind. Confidence, behavior, or anything that related to the skills are actually can be developed through trainings and experience. In this way, insecurities reveal the fear that hold people's back as exactly what I've mentioned before. The possibility of failure, the thing that you could screw up during doing something, achieving something, right? The fear might hold you back and decide if you're strong enough, or either you deserve with that, with your accomplishment or not, deserve with your goal or not. You can gradually turn your fear into your confidence, and that's is the interlink between your insecurity and the confidence at the same time. And let me tell you different things that can actually help me during my journey in every single aspect of life, or whenever I want to achieve anything in my life, is that you may not notice this, but confidence and insecurity gives you the same reflexes. Okay, hear me out. Another crazy assumption, right? But did you remember that when you fear, you're shaking, you keep being feared, you're insecure about yourself, you overthink, you did a lot of questionable things in that period of time, right? And at the same time, sometimes you don't even know what you're doing. You're scared, you overthink, just like that. But hold on a second. Let me tell you something. Remember the first time you did something unexpectedly but successful? Remember when you first moved to another country for studying abroad? Remember when you first have a date with the lover of your life? What were you doing? You were overthinking, right? You were nervous. You were doing some things that you might screw up at the end of the day. You didn't know what you're doing, or at least you knew a little bit, but you're scared, you're feared. So that seems like a paradox, but it gives you the same reflexes. And if you can somehow trick your mind into thinking that you're not insecure, you're just doing this for the first time, you are excited. And what the body is giving you, the reflexes, are natural. And based on that one, I can guarantee you I have hosted so many shows, standing in front of the stage for multiple times, at different roles, as speaker, as MC. I've hosted so many shows. But the feeling of nervousness always appear in my mind. And I always told myself that, no, I was not scared. I was not insecure. Because if I'm insecure, there's no way I'm here. There's no way I'm feeling the floor. There's no way I'm holding the mic, hosting the show. There's no way that any of that happened if I'm insecure. I am just confident. I am very confident, but in a way that most people don't realize. And I am excited because it's my first time. And apply with the same method, if I'm so scared that I might screw up, I have to tell myself, yes, the percentage of me screwing up exists. It may even be high, but now let's sit down, talk with your insecurity advisor and confidence advisor. How can you actually overcome it? How can you get over that? Because now it detected all of my insecurity parts, all of the mistakes that I might make during my journey. And that's exactly how insecurity developed my confidence and also helped me to realize that I am not actually scared. I'm just doing it for the first time. And even though it's not my first time, it's just completing yourself in a way that seems to be a little bit harsh. Put it into consideration like this. Insecurity is very, very harsh. The one that never satisfies with anything. The one that's so strict that you have to feel it every single time with perfect result. It scares you. It intimidates you. But does it help you? Yeah, it's actually helping you. And it's the foundation for confidence, as I've mentioned before. And if you're feeling a little bit mixed in the two feelings, even after the speech, there are actually some sort of methods I could help you, because it could help me, and it has saved me so many years in my life until until I get closer to the version that I want. The first thing I want you to do when you want to achieve anything in your life that you feel scared is that you have to clarify your goals. Very common, right? You can write it down, you can tell it with your friends or family, anything. But you have to clarify what you want to do first, very clearly. And then the moment you feel scared, do me a favor, okay? Don't tell the fear to anyone. Ask yourself, why are you feeling scared? What are you missing? Because if you're winning like 100%, then why do you feel scared? It must have been something, right? Let's say for the first time you participate in a debate contest. You're scared? Well, what are you scared of? Your opponent? Okay, you know that you're scared of opponents, but when you reflect as yourself, you know that your knowledge is a little bit limited, right? You know that your presentation skills might not be as same as your opponents, right? So based on that one, instead of telling your fear to other people, just ask yourself, what am I lack of? What do I need? And I can guarantee you, once you figure out yourself, the moment you find the solutions, it's very easy. Because there will be a lot of people experience the same way, and the hardest thing is to make the question that can help you. The second thing is, I want you to write it down. And write it down here does not mean just your goal. I want you to write down the steps, the potential move that you can make during that one. Track that progress every single day. Progress are minor. And there will be some days you will not be seeing anything, okay? Take learning language as an example. The first day, you'll learn a lot of new words. You can even speak the language fluently. But the second day, you're feeling a bit down. You couldn't do anything. You felt it's a little bit exhausted, right? It's a little hard. You couldn't study anything. But when the third day, you feel your mood has been lightened up a little bit, then you can confidently moving forward and studying new things. The same goes apply with anything in your life. Is that tracking progress is not to know that how close you are getting to the goal. It's to notice that the progress you're making is not ordinary. You're making big moves in your life. That's actually changing the core of your life. And once you notice the prism of confidence and insecurity, you may notice that you may finally realize that these two words They might not be friends, but they are definitely a good co-workers of each other, helping each other, cooperating with each other to make the version of yourself. My final message here is that insecurity, doubts, and fears may feel like the dark colors of your life, right? It seems lifeless. You may think that. But at the same time, you feel that confidence, decisiveness, braveness shine like a bright ones, the spotlight of the picture. And I am here to remind you a very important thing. The prism between confidence and insecurity is not about having the two sets of colors which contradict each other, but about discovering the beauty in their balance within a single picture. It helps you, helps me, and hopefully it helps everyone. And that's all for my speech. Thank you for listening.